I'm finally back into routine. A lot of my sourdough needs feeding, and I've just seen out of the corner of my eye Miss Tricks. So I need to make some bread. Oh wow, that's rising very nicely. Beautiful, so good. I'm going to kind of do a quiche. That's the great thing about this recipe. Delicious. Hello, welcome back to Farmer's Wife Homestead. I'm Stacey if this is the first time we're meeting, and I'm finally back into routine. So today is Tuesday the 14th in little old sunny summer New Zealand, and I'm getting into the swing of things again after having some time off over Christmas, and it's been very, very nice. Pre-warning, my face is absolutely screaming at me right now. It feels like my head's in a vice and it's just electrical pains shooting through my face right now. So I may be a little bit on the sore side today during this video. But what I need to do is get myself into a bit more of a routine now that I'm out of holiday mode. And I've just seen out of the corner of my eye, Miss Tricks has walked into the dining room, and you know you're not allowed in here. You're not allowed on the lino. No. So you have to get outside. Good girl. I'll show her to you a little bit later. I hope you've all had a wonderful holiday season. Right, what are we going to get up to? Well, I'm just going to fix the leg of my tripod here. What are we going to get up to? I need to make a loaf of bread. One of the things that I really want to do personally this year is try and make as many of my own bread products as possible. I'd love to have a food mill. I've always wanted to have one. It's the biggest reason why I brought a Thermomix a couple of years ago was for the because I wanted to mill my own flour, but it doesn't do the job that I want it to do. Yes, you can do it, but it's not the same. So one day hopefully I can invest in one, because all the flour here has folate in it, and yes, I know the good things about folate and all the rest, but it's an unnatural folate, and for somebody with me that has B12 issues, it's not good for me. So eventually I would like to get into making my own flour, but I digress. So I need to make some bread, and my daughter has been making a lovely bread, and I stayed with her recently and it was a lovely loaf. So I am going to attempt to make my own loaf from the recipe that she's got. And what else? I've got to organise dinner. We had husband had put on a big leg of mutton, and so we've got some, well, I assume we've got some mutton left. Pretty sure we do. Yep, so I've got a lot of eggs, so I might turn that into a quiche for dinner. What else do we need to do? I need to go to the freezers, have a look, and look at getting a couple of bits of meat out of the freezer and start them thawing in the fridge. I've got very minimal fresh veg at the moment. I think I've barely got any, to be honest, and I don't get paid till next week. So yeah, so I've got to really think about what meals I'm making. I have gone through at the start of the month and I used my meal plan, my monthly meal plan, and I've been crossing off the meals. So I need to update that and cross off the ones that we have had and look at you know, what ones I can make. So like caramelized onion quiche I've got here, so I'm going to kind of do a quiche, and it definitely will have caramelized onions, but I'll use some of this leftover mutton, cold mutton as well. So yeah, sort of just have a look at my list and get some ideas on some meals for the rest of the week. That just sits on my fridge here. Right, I've got my ingredients, so I'm just going to do 1.5 cups of water to start with, roughly. Make sure it's not too hot. It's not. And do 3 teaspoons of yeast. There's no sugar, but you could put honey in here if you wanted to. I might add just a tiny bit of honey. I'm already digressing from her recipe. Right, I've got all this honey to use up, so I'm just going to put, I don't know, maybe a teaspoon of honey. And that's bubbling, so I know that that's going to be fine. And 3 cups of flour. Crash bang. 2. That wasn't quite full. And some salt. Right, just going to get a wooden spoon and give it a good mix. And you want a slightly wet dough because it will continue to absorb the flour, so you can sort of see that it's a shaggy dough. That's fine. And we're just going to leave this. I'm going to cover it and leave it for an hour on the bench to rise. Alright, I also need to clean these fridges at some point. They are a bit of a mess. I haven't cleaned them in a while, but I sort of need to go through and make sure that all my preserves are being used, and I've not just got jars sitting in here. Like there's some lemon curd, so that needs to go. It's basically empty and it's just being left in there. A lot of my sourdough needs feeding. I've got some jam. I'm looking for some caramelized onion. Doesn't look like I've got any out at the moment, but I have some tomato relish, and I saw I've got a jar of Branston pickle as well, so maybe I should use that up first. So the other thing is I need to feed my sourdough starter. It needs to go on a clean, a new, see the hooch on the top? I'm just going to grab another, a clean jar. We still haven't, I've tried to make a couple of loaves. They haven't been the best, but they did get overproofed. So I still want to practice a little more, and then we will get onto making some sourdough loaves. I've got quite a bit of starter here, too much really, so I need to make some crackers, so I may even do that. But to feed, I've just been like, just adding, I don't know. I'm not measuring, I'm trying to make it so that it's just really easy. Trying to get the feel of it rather than that's how I learn better. So anyway, bit of a feed, I'll leave it on the bench, and I will make some crackers or something later. And I'm just going to place my rubber band on there so I know if it's still active. Right, let's just look at the menu plan and come up with a couple of dinners for, what did I say, Tuesday. So maybe another couple. I do have a big tin of tuna, so I'm really craving tuna fish pie. If you don't know or haven't seen the video, I'll link it. I was really surprised. I absolutely loved it. So I might do that for tomorrow night's dinner. What are some of the others? I don't even know if I've got tuna fish pie on here, but that's fine. That's the beauty of this menu plan, is you can chop and change it. No, tuna fish pie isn't in here, but I've got a rice, I've written rice dish, so I can just substitute that for that. What else is another one? I've got BLT. I've got some homemade bacon that really needs to be used up, so we might do BLTs as well. So I've got everything out for that. I just need to make some bread. BLTs, I wonder if a focaccia would be quite nice. I might make a focaccia to go with the BLTs, because yeah, keeping in theme of trying to make all my own bread this year, that will go well. And then I've got stroganoff meatballs, bacon and egg pie, a roast, which we did, so I need to cross that off, brinner, a barbecue, pizza night, pasta, lasagna, chicken parm. I don't know if I've got much chicken left. Let's go and check the freezers and see if I've got some chicken in the freezer. If not, we'll take out some beef, and I don't know, we might make a lasagna or something like that. So let's go to the freezers. Hey Jax, hey Jax. Say hello. Say hello. Right, I have some green beans. I need some of those. I've got, that's a soup, that's bugger, some butter, some plums, a mac and cheese. That's super old now. That's dry as anything. The pigs will get that. I've got ice blocks. I've got blueberries, some wraps. So should make some quesadillas for lunch at some point. Got some horrible freezer burnt rolls that can go to the pigs. I've got eggs, pastrami, more plums. Got a side of salmon there that should be used up as well. Frozen blueberries. That's some more butter. That's zucchini, so I should really do something with that soon. Some apples. A big thing of onions, so really need to use those up. Okay, I've got some chicken, plain chicken legs. These are starting to get old. I think I'm going to take out these two and we'll do a marinade one of the nights. Some spinach. I need to take that in because we are low. More apple. There's some more freezer burnt bread. More blueberries. And I've got sheep pan plum chicken. I don't know if that's legs or I should have written it down. I think they're legs. Could be breast. So that could be next week. I've got some broccoli, some asparagus. Got some fat. Got another teriyaki chicken sheet pan. Again, I don't know if it's legs. Yes, it's legs. Okay, there's some celery. That's past its best, so that could go to the pigs as well. Put that down there. Got another freezer meal down here. It's a apple blueberry crumble. That's a bit past its best. Yeah, now I've just made a mess down there, so I'm going to have to clean that out. And I've got some cauliflower. We need some more veg, so I'll bring these out and we'll use these. Hopefully they're not too freezer burnt. So that's good. This is getting this fridge down. Okay, I will take in what I need to take in, and then I will bring the pig bucket back for the rest of the stuff. Alright, these are a bit freezer burnt, but I'm happy enough to still eat them. I'm going to thaw these in the fridge and then make a marinade of say some honey, soy, garlic, ginger, and then I'll just bake them in the oven. So that's what I'll do with that. This is my last bag of whole baby green beans, so I'm going to pop them in the fridge. I also have this cauliflower florets. I'm not sure if they're going to be any good. They've been in the freezer for a long time. And some spinach leaves, so I'm just going to bung them in the freezer as well. So I like to just grab a container, pop the meat in the fridge so that if there's any spillage it sort of goes into the container rather than the fridge. I'm going to pop that in the fridge, and I grabbed a venison. We don't have any beef at the moment, so if I want beef I've got to buy it. And but we do have some venison that they caught just before Christmas, so I might do, I've got a burger night. No burger night. Oh, we've already done the burger night. That could be for the lasagna. I'll make the lasagna with that. So popping that in the same container and into the fridge. Oh wow, that's rising very nicely. Might as well show you. I forgot to put the timer on. It's probably been maybe 20 minutes, so I'm just going to pop the timer on. It's a very hot day too, so it won't need as long. Let's go another half an hour. What should I do with the quiche? I might make a potato salad. I've got loads of potatoes. I would like to make some roast potatoes too at some point. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it here and in the description, and it'd be really nice to have some roasted potatoes. So maybe I should do up a pot of them as well. You know what though, I really want to try and work on getting this freezer and that freezer more empty so that I can have those types of convenience foods in there. Really need to do a freezer organisational video. Maybe I might do that tomorrow, so you'll see it in the next video, as we'll reorganise these inside fridge freezers so that they work better for me, and yeah, moving forward, because I got out of routine over the holidays, and I want to have a freezer where I bring stuff from the main freezers and bring it and put it in, say, I'll have one as a convenience food, so it'll have things like pre-done roasted potatoes, breakfast sandwiches. Nobody really eats breakfast, but I think if it's there, people might use it for either breakfast or lunch. We don't have a microwave, so that's why I used to have one, but I used to do breakfast sandwiches and burritos and stuff all the time, and everybody loved them. But all we have to do is think ahead, take it out, and then put them in a toasted sandwicher instead. Or I've got the sort of like the oven air fryer there. What else do we need to do? So yeah, so I want one freezer for convenience type meals, and one for, I'll bring, so for that week I'll decide, okay, well we're going to have this, this and this, and I'll bring it into the freezer inside and try and work things that way, because I think I will cycle through stuff and it'll save wastage. Like I've now got a bin full of stuff to give to the pigs, which is fine because it gets turned into bacon, but you know what I'm saying, like or eggs, because it can go to the chickens. And then I've got you know, I'm cycling through the freezers better. I hope that makes sense. The other thing I need to do this week is reorganise this pantry, and a lot of you said that you'd be interested in watching me do that. It's filthy, like I'm just looking down on the bottom one here, and it's just got like, you know, the air fryer lives down there and the bulk bottle stuff, and it's just got drippings and stuff, so I need to do that, reorganise everything. Have you seen on TikTok, I'm not a huge TikToker, but I have seen lately people are swapping out their pantries and using cupboards instead for their pantry. So cupboard stuff go into the pantry and pantry stuff go into the cupboards. I don't have very many cupboards to be able to do that, but I wonder if it would work quite well. So I'd have to think about it. It just needs redoing because it's just not working right now. It does when I keep it organised, but when other people are baking and doing things, and it just, you know, at the moment I've just thrown stuff back in there, other people have thrown stuff back in there, and you can't see. And I'm going to be doing a big shop at the end of the month, and I will do another video on what I'm going to be doing, how I'm planning this year's groceries. So yeah, but I'll bring that in a different video. So I'm digressing as usual. Can't wait to tackle this kitchen. Everything's just so worn and grotty. Needs a refresh, repaint, but it'll probably be a winter job, to be honest. By the time I organise all this stuff, the bread might be ready for shaping too. I mean, look at the state of it. Especially, this was so well organised and it's just not now. I'm just throwing stuff in there. So, as I said, we'll do quiche, and I'll make a potato salad. That's it. Tuesdays is the day I like to sort of have a bit of a day off. That's a bit grotty. So it's minimal cooking, which is good because I deserve to have a day off too. Right, I'm just going to prepare the potatoes, get them cooking, and then I'll make it up so that I can chill for the afternoon. It's super hot. One of the presents that husband gave me for Christmas was a fly screen for the sliding door. So it means that I can have it open and get some airflow into the house. And the flies don't come in, and it has been amazing. Even he has said, oh my gosh, it feels so weird because summer we're usually inundated with flies, and we don't have them now, so it's brilliant. I want to get some for the kitchen and the dining room window as well, so that present was very well received. So that's him always thinking about me and ways to make things easier. We try and kind of give each other well, particularly him, he likes to give me gag gifts as such, or practical gifts. So we have a joke, you know, like the dishwasher needed new wheels, so he's like, oh, you know, that's this year's birthday present, and it's just a joke, but you know, it's quite funny, but it's all practical stuff. And one year him and my son gave me a broom because they broke the broom. So yeah, it's just gag stuff, but he also gifts me wonderful practical stuff like my computer so that I could do my work, because the old computer was crashing every time I was editing, and he got me another stand for my phone so that I can start making reels and stuff like that. So yeah, very lucky. I'm just going to peel all of these, cook them up, and then I'll show you my favourite potato salad. I'm just cutting them down to size a little bit, not to the finished size, but so that they cook faster. And then I guess we will work on the quiche next. Right, my timer has gone off for the bread, which is looking good. Hydration is quite wet, but we're just going to add a bit of flour shortly. I'm going to get my pot in the oven. I will leave the recipe in the description. I'll put it on the website. It's actually slightly overproofed, but that'll be okay. Got some baking paper ready. I'll put some flour down and on my hands. And you want to try and keep in as much of the air as possible, all the while trying to shape a ball size. So you're just going to bring it all, and what you're doing is you're tightening the underside, the top side of the bread. Now you just want to sort of roll it in a ball like this to really tighten that top edge. And see how that's getting a lot more tight. Right, that's what you want. I have knocked a bit of the air out, but now I'm just going to proof it a little bit longer than the 15 minutes required, just so that it comes up a bit more, so maybe 20 minutes. I'm just going to pop that back into the bowl that it was sitting in. So it's all ready to go into the Dutch oven. Right, I decided to put the timer on for the 15 minutes, then check it. I don't want to overproof it at this stage, because if I overproof it, it's just going to flop and it's just not going to make a nice bread. I really wanted to do some baking today, but as I said a little bit earlier, my face is just screaming at me, and there's just no point in pushing myself. The main thing is that I'm getting something done today. Getting myself more organised, and dinner ready, and also so I can just chill for the rest of the day. I did a little bit of work this morning. I need to do more work, but I need to listen to my face. Most people that have my condition aren't able to hold down a job, so I'm lucky in the respect that if I'm having a bad day, I can shift things along. Did I want to achieve more today? Absolutely. Can I physically do it? No. And goodness knows why I'm having this flare. Just that's the rhyme or reason of trigeminal neuralgia. You just don't know what's gonna, give you the worst trigger. I need to get some spring onions from the garden. I did notice that the spring onion tops were getting rust on it. So I think it's trapped, and it's quite far away from where the garlic was, but it's obviously come over to, well, the spring onions are where the garlic was last year. So it's obviously in the soil, which is not great. And I didn't even know that onions could get rust. So that's something I learned. So I do need to go and check on those, but I need some of the spring onion for the potato salad. I also put in dill, sour cream, mayo, and I like to chop up gherkins. I've got gherkin slices, and yeah, but I'll show you how I make up that once it's ready to be made up. I've done quiches before. I will also leave the video up here, so it's not going to be a how-to. I'm just going to whip it together now and chuck that in the oven at the same time as, well, no, it won't be at the same time as the bread, because the bread is on 230, so that's too high, but I will get it ready right now. Cream. Need more cream. This is going to be a crustless, so there's no pastry or crust for it. It's just going to be like an eggy one. Definitely decided to use up some tomato relish instead. Yeah, so there's that much tomato relish, I might as well use that up. That's barbecue sauce. I'm trying to think of ways to use it up. Maybe I'll put a little bit of dobs of that in there as well. So in the meantime, I'm just going to chop up some, that's a bit fatty, that bit. Slices of cold meat. Use ham. So I'm just going to pop blobs of tomato relish. That's the great thing about this recipe, is you can pop whatever you've got leftover veggie, pop it all in here, and you've made a new flavour. Grab some of this frozen spinach, a bit of green, some onion would be good too. Maybe I'll put some spring onion in it. I'll go and grab some spring onion. Right, I've just got back inside. There's 3 beautiful strawberries ready, so I'm going to munch on them a bit later. And I just grabbed some spring onions. They're really getting past good now. And the time is going off for the bread. It's perfect. 15 minutes was perfect. Now I'm just going to score using this knife without trying to take all the air out, just so that it can expand. I do want to get myself a proper, I think they call it a lame. Right, let's get the hot pot out. It's piping hot, so be very careful. And in the oven for half an hour. Oops. I've overcooked these. So I need to cool them down real quick. And get them cooling down as quickly as possible in some water. Got a little bit of parmesan left. I thought I had a couple of bags of this. But apparently not. I want to put some salt in here. A teaspoon of salt. And I'll grab some pepper. I'm pretty much out of. Yep. Now I'm just going to chuck all that in there. Use a spatula, you'd be amazed at how much extra you can get out. I think I definitely want to have a little bit of extra cheese, so I'm going to chuck some cheese on top. And here's just that barbecue sauce that I made up. It's thick, but it's just not quite, just needed a little bit more. But I think it'll be quite nice dotted around in there. And it means that I'm mixing it up. That can go to tricks. I'm just going to put a little bit of cheese. I'm going to pop this in the fridge. Actually, I might just leave it out on the bench, because if I pop it in the fridge, then it's going to get heat shock. Right, and that'll be fine on the bench for half an hour before I cook it. Right, have a tidy up. Actually, I forgot. I've got some of these spring onions for the quiche. And the other spring onion is for the potato salad. I want to mix that in because I don't want the spring onions to burn on the top. So I'm going to give you an example. I brought this caterer's aluminium foil. It's 150 metres. It probably cost me about $25, 30 tops at Gilmore's. I brought it probably at the start of the year, last year, and it's still got a whole heap. Supermarkets in New Zealand these days, they have the you know, they carry these bigger ones now. Yes, it's a bit more out of your weekly budget, but it lasts so much longer. And those little 5 metre, 8 metre, 10 metre ones, they last a month or so depending on how much you use it, and then you've got to buy it again. So if you actually just bite the bullet and get the bigger bulk, then you are going to save money. I promise you, you will save a lot of money. I'm out of the big baking paper, but I want to get it at Gilmore's to do the same. So I get my cling wrap from Gilmore's, the aluminium foil, and now I want to get the baking paper, but I just had to use up the last of my store of baking paper. So at the moment I've had to get the little 15. I'll put the price up here somewhere as to how much the 15 metre is, and if I can find the price online how much the bigger foil is, I'll try and work out how much cheaper it is, as just an example. Or actually I might even go over it with you in a later video, because I've got something that's in the works that I'm sure that you guys are going to absolutely love. Oh my gosh, it's been a few years since I've had homegrown strawberries. and the difference. The shop bought is like, it's no comparison. The flavour. I am so determined this year in winter. I'm going to make the biggest strawberry bed so that we can have our own. I'm sick of buying strawberries and they taste of nothing. That just came straight off the plant. It's hot, so they're warm, and the flavour is so intensive. You can put strawberries in pots. Yeah. I wish my bed, because I had a couple of hundred strawberries, I wish that I could have kept on top of it. Wow. Okay, that's the half hour up now. I'm just going to take the lid off. Oh wow, that's stunning. And an extra 15 minutes and then it will be done. It looks absolutely beautiful. I'm interested to have that little bit of honey in there to see what that is like. Beautiful crusty bread. These potatoes actually feel like they are just about cool enough, so I'm going to get my spring onions ready, and let's start putting this potato salad together. There's something about homegrown spring onions that are just so much nicer than store-bought as well. I need to get some more in so that I've got a supply for winter, because as I said, these ones are just getting a little bit too big and past their best. And I have also been just taking a knife with me and cutting it off at the bottom, leaving about that much, and then they're just regrowing. So I will definitely keep doing that method. It's a method I've done for years, but I'll just keep doing that as well. Now I'm just going to make up the sauce in this big bowl here, because I've already got it out, it's already dirty, and I'm going to put all the fixings in there, and there's the, what is it, bread and butter cucumbers that we've got over here. I thought I was going to make my own, but I've decided that I'm just going to buy these big jars at Gilmore's. They're really good in price, and eventually, maybe next year when I have a better garden, I can do that. But in the meantime, they're relatively cheap and they're done for me, you know. So I'll just grab a couple of big jars of these, and it'll see us right for this year. Lots and lots of pickle. Love the pickles in a potato salad. So I'm just going to dice these up, and I use like actual gherkins. These are sliced, that's all I've got left. Chop it up, it's all the same. And the reason why I'm doing it this way is so that I can make the dressing and give it a good stir without smushing the potatoes too much. Got a big thing of mayo. I've never tried the Gilmore's whole egg mayonnaise, so I brought some just before Christmas, and it's actually really good. So I'm going to plonk a bit of mayo in there. There's quite a lot of potatoes, so I'll just do like about 4 tablespoons. Right, we want some of the juice from here. It's got whole mustard seed as well, and that's fine. Need sour cream. I haven't got any homemade at the moment. I was making things easier on myself before Christmas, and I brought one, but sour cream is definitely something that I will continue to make of my own. I'll link that video as well if you're interested. It's so easy. I'll write up this recipe as well. Salt and pepper. No pepper left in the house, but potatoes need salt, so there's about half a teaspoon of salt in there. And I like to put some dill. You can also add mustard, either dry or dry mustard or whole mustard. I don't feel like it today, so I'm not going to put it in. Just give this a good mix, and automatically I can smell that dill. Now I've got the potatoes that need cutting down a little bit. Put the knife in the dishwasher. And they're still slightly warm, and that's good, because if they're slightly warm it absorbs the sauce. If you don't put the pickle juice in, oh, there was a whole one there. If you don't put the pickle juice in, add some apple cider vinegar. It really makes a difference to your potato salad. So they're not hot, but they are warm. I should have tasted this. That's perfect. You can add egg if you want to add egg. I had intended to pressure cook some whole eggs, but my face is just too sore. I'm actually going to just put a little bit more salt over the potatoes. This is a big bowl, so it's a lot of potatoes. Just try and fold it in without squishing it too much. And that is my ideal perfect potato salad. Can you just see how big that bowl is? So I'm just going to make sure that everything is balanced and tastes right. Sorry, my face. Oh, it hurts to eat. Needs a little bit more salt. Pepper would be nice too. So good. So good. Oh, so good. Just the right mix of pickles and creaminess. Sorry, my face. Alright, I'm going to pop this in the fridge, have a little bit for my lunch. The bread should be just about ready. Alright, I just checked the bread, and luckily I did, because it's, I don't know, it's just slightly a little bit browner than what I would want. There's the timer there, so I should have taken it off a couple of minutes ago. Now I'm just going to turn that down and pop the quiche in there. We'll leave that leave this a little bit of tin foil in case it starts to brown on top and I need it. but I'm going to pop it on a tray. Look at that beautiful loaf. So there's that beautiful loaf, crusty loaf. It's hot as crusty. Just going to let it cool. I'm just going to pop a tea towel over it, which it kind of will soften the crust a little bit, but that's fine because with my face, crusty bread is a little bit of an issue. Delicious. Smells good. And there's the beautiful bread. Beautiful. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the day in the kitchen with me, and I will see you on the next one hopefully. Alright, bye for now.